Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the first episode of the Art Heals podcast. I'm very blessed to have here Alison Goldwyn for the first episode. Look at this synchronicity, even in our appearance. So, hi, Alison. Welcome.
It's wonderful to be here in the space of nirvana with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. And yeah, would you like to tell us um, where you're from and obviously what brought you to art?
Well, I'm from Earth most of the time. Sometimes I feel like I'm from anywhere but here. It's a pretty rock and roll time on this planet, as I think a lot of people would agree. So I have a lot of compassion for that experience of being human at a very, very dynamic time. Oftentimes I'm in Europe, and more often than not, I'm spending my time in another world, which is the world of creativity and art, which is really apropos of what we're talking about
Beautiful.
today. Yeah, that's a very, very soothing, nourishing place to live. And I encourage people to try to find little pockets throughout their day or their week when they can dip in.
Hmm. And how did your journey with art start?
You know, I think I was just born with it. You know how there are people that are natural athletes? I mean, you look at the Olympics and you almost think, wow, that person could not possibly have trained, even though they did, but they already had a natural predisposition for the athletics in them. I do believe that everybody is imbued with creativity and a sense of artistic expression, everybody. But
Hmm.
some people just come in with that already more naturally open. And I think I'm one of those people because I never thought about it. It was just always there from the beginning, as long as I can remember. And it was like it's not like I thought about it. It was just like, do I think about the fact that my left hand is waving to you and everybody who's watching right now? No, it's just, this is my left hand. Normally, I just don't think about it. It's part of me. I think for me, that's what art represents as well. It's just a natural part of me, blessedly.
Yes, so there was not like one moment where you had like an awakening and I'm bringing art to the world. So it's rather like a natural process, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there are specific things within my artistic expression that I can identify as having begun at a certain time and place, a certain date, like Synchronistory, my party for the planet. But
Yes, tell us about that. What's that?
well, okay. This is a new word for a new world, making history in synchronicity, synchronicity. And I
Yes,
love
I
the,
think with our looks, that's what we're doing here, visually even.
we're in sync, as they say, remarkably.
Oh,
But the
cool.
difference is you've created yours. This was store bought. So I bow to your creativity and your artistic
Thank you.
expression. Yes. I had in the summer, very hot summer of 1987, on a New York City living room floor, uh, with a map of the world and my dog and my cat playing chase around the living room as I was sitting on the floor looking at this massive map of everything and everywhere. The music was blasting in the background. You know, it was, I think it was Bowie's Dancing in the Street. So I really was feeling the vibe. Okay. And the dog and the cat were oblivious to the map. So they just kept playing chase. The cat was chasing the dog across the map and the whole living room, but there were skid marks on this map because they were having such a blast. And of course, they were showing off, as sometimes animals do, with me. But as they were running this mad, crazy thing around the floor and the map, honestly, I was mesmerized by this map that to me looked like a lot of big puzzle pieces that were separated by bodies of water. And I thought, this is fascinating. All these people and these species and these living trees and fauna and flora, all of these living on these puzzle piece land masses and in these blue areas that represent oceans and seas. And I thought, this is incredible. This is coexistence. What would it be like if we could connect all of these in a conscious way and a really dazzling, celebratory way? Because, we're all here. We always have been here, but I don't think we've ever really taken stock of the fact that we're all here coexisting in this phenomenon, tiny little spit of earthly wonder hurtling through infinity. So at that moment, as I'm mesmerized by this map and all these pieces of life that are coexisting, my dog skidded right onto the Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the ocean in the entire planet, and started to peed directly onto the map, into the trench, onto my floor. And
okay.
I got the message. Let's have a party for the planet and bring all of this together in a phenomenon that's driven by music. And perhaps we could say the miraculous, because it has never been, in the history of civilization, there has never been a moment that actually galvanized the global community based on anything other than man-made or natural catastrophe, if we're really honest about it. Yeah, we know how to come together for, okay, if one man walks on the moon, that's about one special individual. Or if there are huge earthquakes or, wars or things like that, yeah, we can rally together. But have we ever considered coming together on behalf of just celebrating the fact that we friggin' coexist? And who knows what else exists in the universe
That's
beyond.
such a great idea. I mean, usually people come together, to overcome some trauma, as you said, or even to build some trauma, right? So, but
yes.
I see what you mean. Like there are many, many puzzle pieces. Everybody's having their synchronicities, but which role plays art in this?
Well,
in this celebration of our synchronicities?
Synchronistory is an epic, music-powered party for the planet, celebrating every sentient being, broadcast live from multiple event sites worldwide and space annually on New Year's Eve. To mount a production, because it is actually a 3-act music-driven show, like a donut at the center of this 24-hour massive party for the planet, celebrating every sentient being. So what you have is a music-powered 3-act show that will, first of all, engage artistic involvement for people that are creating the scenes, creating some of the music, the set design. Then there are all the tangent events and creative celebratory mini parties that the goal is to burst forth across the planet in a year-long pre-event launch. So we roll out the artistic and creative runway so that cultural heritage, different kinds of music from different parts of the world, different kinds of artistic expression are all converging within their localities and also as part of the global whole, reflecting what it means to be a human. What does it mean to be coexisting with all these species? what does it mean to be a living being on another larger living being called Earth within a still larger living being called the cosmos? There are all these themes that are running through this multi-layered extravaganza, and the invitation for artists, creatives to get into this loop and start creating even their costumes.
The expressions of it.
Yes.
But I'm just thinking, why so small? Why just one day in the year? This should be on the program every day.
Yes, and perhaps it will. We have to jumpstart the first launch event on New Year's, because honestly, New Year's Eve, if you think about it, Jana, there may be just one date on this earth that actually represents a time when we all do come together for something that's not about, man-made or natural catastrophe. But the thing is, I don't know about you, you have to tell me your opinion, but I find that a lot of people are feeling New Year's Eve is becoming rote. I mean, what's the point of celebrating anything when the future forecast on Earth seems so bleak? There are pockets of inspiration and possibility and hope, but we've been spoon-fed so much negativity that it's like we've been imbibing the toxicity, and it's hard for people to see
Yeah.
that there are other possibilities. So yes, let's start with New Year's Eve and do that annually. But between New Year's Eve to New Year's Eve each year, there should be the momentum that continues exactly as you're saying.
Yes,
So
I mean, I just
societies,
realized this
yes,
year that actually the New Year's Eve is it's a programming for linear thinking. Right?
wow,
Yes.
that's deep.
So every moment
Mm.
it's New Year's Eve. Every moment it's for itself whole, you know?
Every
There is
moment
no
is
linearity.
a new life,
Yeah.
since the cells of the body are constantly regenerating. Maybe we wake up each morning, or those people that wake up in the middle of the night and start to just take stock of the fact of that new year, that new being regenerating,
Yeah.
and then funnel that into New Year's. I want to ask you a question because we're on the subject of New Year's.
Okay.
Do you remember the best New Year's Eve that you ever had in your life? Or was there a best? And if so, why? What was it that was so special about it?
The best. That's hard to say
Yeah.
because there have been many beautiful. I think just celebrating at home with my friends and my daughter, you know, the Germans, I'm in Germany, love the firework. So you do the firework. But I've also um, had New Year's Eve where I just refused, like last year, to celebrate because I realized that's a programming for linear thinking. So I'm going to meditate, I'm going to stop the time.
That's an original
And that
idea
was
also.
very, very powerful realization,
Mm.
because it's not like a universe, it's a multiverse. And all these puzzle pieces that you mentioned, they are there all the time and they just move, and it's flexible, so we have so much power. And that's why I believe art can help people transform, to release these programs that have been given to us. And obviously what you do goes also in this direction. So
Yes.
what would be like the highest outcome for your artistic practice with synchronicity? If like there were no obstacles, what would you love to do or imagine?
Regarding the actual event,
Yeah,
synchronicity,
yeah, or in general, your artistic practice.
well, I think that I won't say that I have an artistic practice. What I have is an artistic passion. And my
Mm-hmm.
passion for the last 40 years that I have been party planning Synchronicity has been to get this planet primed for party time. This is a long-term proposition, but I so deeply believe in it. I love the idea of this because it is so disarming. It's so unusual, and it's so antithetical to everything that, as you kind of indicate, we've tried to do in the traditional frameworks.
Yes.
And the traditional frameworks, a lot of them are disintegrating. So it is incumbent upon us to have something new to latch onto, like a lifeboat in the best sense, something that's innovative, that's stimulating our creativity and the possibilities, allowing our minds to open up to possibilities. And for me, to inspire people, not to force feed them into coming to a party or having to adhere to a certain way of being creative and artistic, but just to genuinely open them up to the possibilities that that affords. That's a great, great passion of mine. So to inspire humanity in sanity with an astonishing music-powered party for the planet that is ongoing,
To
as you said.
celebrate life, which
Yes.
already in itself, it's a form of resistance, right?
When you say to celebrate life, do you find that even that sounds autopilot? We have that in greeting cards, we have that in wishes for people, for their birthdays, or for even New Year's resolutions. But do you think that people really sink into what that implies, really sink in? Because I think that having something that is so massive, so mega, might almost awe us by the very doing of something so big, and show the face of our global selfie, if you were, from its good time and real time for the very first time. And by doing that, I think that idea of celebrating life starts to take on a visceral meaning. It really starts to filter down from here into here, the birthplace perhaps of
Yes,
our art.
loving life
Yeah,
and loving to be alive. And I
yeah.
think art has the power, to transcend whatever layer has been put over that place in us, which is like pure love, right?
Is that exactly? It is, because you're such a talented artist in your own right. When you're creating art, are you even aware that you're experiencing love, or is it just so connected that you're in the flow? How is it for you when you're creating your art?
Oh, it feels like I'm connected to a higher source when I'm really relaxed and in the creative process, then it just flows through me.
Yeah, exactly. The
So
flow.
it's divine. It's a divine feeling, and there is nothing you can do wrong,
Yeah, yeah.
you know?
Well, how would you encourage people who are new to tapping into their artistic expression? How would you encourage them to find that place?
Well, just start maybe taking a paper and a pen and
Mm,
draw just something that is on your mind.
yeah. And it
Bring
doesn't
it
have,
out, bring it
right.
out and allow yourself not to be judgmental.
I love that you said that. That's
Hmm.
because what you're saying is, in fact, anybody, whatever their state of mind, even if they're upset, sometimes that can be a jump starter to just draw or write or create some music from that energy
Yeah, it
charge.
can be a
Go ahead.
small act, and then by realizing how good this feels, you'll join more and more.
Yes.
Yeah, and this brings me actually to the question, so how can people join your movement, right? It's a celebration movement. How can I join? How can I participate? Can I make
Well,
headpieces for everybody?
for example, yes, there are going to be a lot of opportunities. We are still in the I know this sounds crazy to say in the 40th year of parting planning, but still in the early stages of engaging the public, because we need
40th, like
40.
40?
Yes, yes.
Wow, that's gonna be a huge party.
Nothing less than the best for this planet. Yes. So I say that there are three things that people can start to do: action, interaction, and interaction. The
Mhm.
in the action plan would be for those people, for example, who are connected directly or through their network to really significant influencers, musical artists, superstars who they think would be interested in coming on board Synchronistory as ambassadors for peace, for coexistence, for environmental health, and for uplift, utter astonishing uplift. So that's the first ask of people who find that they may have directly or indirectly a network connected to these kinds of people, and
Mhm.
also to investors, because we need some significant funds to jumpstart the process.
Mm.
The
Okay.
second part is interaction, to start interacting with other people and just sending them to our website so they become familiarized, because this website is a world unto itself. There's music in there, there are videos, there's play on words and
What's your
ideas.
website? I mean, I'll put the link in the description, of course, but just say it.
Synchronistory.com.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
nobody's going to know how to spell that until they see it. But I
You'll find
always,
the link below, of course.
yes, I always say
So
though,
people can just write you, right?
no, they
And
can,
propose their service or investment or whatever is
well, yes,
their domain.
yes, this has to be people with serious connections, serious interest. Interaction would be to start interacting with friends, people that they think would love this idea, and send them to the website so people just start to talk about it amongst themselves and keep generating that vibe. And the interaction, which I think is really the most important, is to start cultivating a sense of art, heart, and party celebration within
Mm.
oneself. How to do that? I know that there are a lot of people that are suffering in the world. My heart is with them. So I suggest, because for me, and I think a lot of us, we would agree that love is the universal language, but music is the portal. So to start playing a little bit of music that you love, your favorite song that sends you into an uplifted vibe every day, even if it's 30 seconds, just find a moment and start listening to that music so that you set the tone, the inner tone,
Hmm.
to be receptive for party time. Because the planet is a mess right now. Human beings are so distressed. And the more that we can start to nudge that a little bit in the direction of uplift, hope, and attunement, because we are, after all, energy, and energy has a frequency. And that's as good as any musical note I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's about raising the frequency, I think, and art, listening to music, or even singing or dancing. If you don't have access to music, um, can really help you release, the stress and go in a vibe that is actually more authentic to yourself.
It has been scientifically proven that music changes the frequency of the body, of the mind. There's great healing power in music and art. So, whether it's music or looking at a piece of art, or just, as you say, going to, if you have a pen and paper, or if you live in a jungle and you don't even have internet connection, but I don't know how you'd be hearing this podcast, just take a leaf and a stick and start to create something with the elements that you're in the midst of, or that are in your midst. That's one way. And
Yes.
I say also go to nature, because there's enormous art and creative inspiration in the natural world.
Yes, I mean, nature is the biggest artist, right?
Isn't that the truth? Yes. I never
Yeah.
did. I did you when you were young, were you very connected to nature? Were you very aware of your relationship to the natural world as a
Yeah,
child?
I mean, I spent lots of time in the woods, you know, in fields. So I
Mm,
come from Czech Republic. There's like no ocean, but there are rivers and lakes, and it was
mm.
just a natural part. I was like rather countryside girl, you know.
Oh,
So it
beautiful.
was natural part of life.
Yeah. Then
Yeah.
did that nature experience inform your future talent as an artist, as a full-blown artist, do you think?
Hmm. That's an interesting question. I never thought about this, to be honest.
That's
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, the connection
right.
to myself, my core is same like the connection to the universe, right?
Oh,
Or the multiverses. So
yeah.
definitely, yes,
Yes,
yes.
I imagine so.
So I think that's hilarious what you do. I definitely want to participate in this party. I'm a party girl. I love to dance. So let's go for it.
I have to say also, it's so important for people to understand, as massive as this is, and there's a lot of growing interest. We're affiliated with Al Gore, the Climate Reality Project, with, in fact, the Planetary Arts Movement, dear Joanna Nurse, and thanks to Gary Jacobs, Ketan Patel, and the World Academy of Art and Science. Disarm, the Sound of Peace, which is a partner, in fact, of the World Academy of Art and Science. That's a phenomenal event that's coming up at the end of next summer on
Mhm.
behalf of stimulating peace through music around the world.
Wow.
There are so many things in the works, and there are other big projects out there. But at the end of the day, even with Sync's party, if a person does not want to have to go to a stadium with the high paying ticket holders or to many local venues that hopefully cities and counties and districts will all be building in this ecosystem that is Synchronistory, you can go to the privacy of your home. Just stay at home. You don't have to even tune in if you don't want to. Just know at this moment
Mm,
on this day, this thing is happening on Earth in a simultaneous experience that's never happened before.
okay. So I'm part of this already every day.
Sure. Just by virtue of being
I
here.
was just
No
not
pressure.
aware.
That's up to you. And let it imagination roll. Let imagination fly. It's important to be able to
Yes.
express.
Hmm.
It's important to be able to self-express, to have a little pocket where we can open ourselves
Yeah.
up and imagine in the best sense, in the
I
best sense.
remember during the launch of Planetary Arts Movement, you showed such a wonderful video. Can we share it also with our people?
Of
Yeah.
course, thank you for bringing that up. I didn't even realize that you saw it, but yes, I think that would be a
Yes.
wonderful
It
intro for
was
people.
very touching. Yeah, I
Oh,
felt how much effort and energy is there inside.
well,
So
thank
before we close, I would like you, Alison, to start a new tradition.
you. Oh, only okay. Let's see.
So the tradition is you leave one word for the next guest about what art means to you or about your art in general. And then the next guest has to see what it means to him
Oh,
or her.
can I use a telepathic word?
Yeah, okay, we can write it then in the comments for those who,
It's a
who
word that
don't
probably doesn't.
communicate telepathically.
No, I'll have to give you a word. It's just that the feeling that I have doesn't have a word attached to it. So let me think in terms of a word. Glow,
Glue.
glow, Glow. Glow.
Glow. Oh, that's
G
beautiful.
L O W G L O W. Glow.
Yes.
Glow.
Glow. That's how also we started with the glow and we finish with the glow.
Right. Yeah, like an
Oh,
aura, one's aura, just glow and see if that opens up the gateway. I'm honored to be number one. And I hope that I fulfill a little bit of the inspiration that you're also sending out.
absolutely. I think that's all that this podcast is about, inspiring others
Yeah.
with art exactly to find this place in them.
There's another
Where,
word, of course, we could create the word together, which is heart, H apostrophe A-R-T.
yes,
Heart, heart and art. Heart.
yes. Oh, I think they do like this somehow, like this today, the new
Oh,
generation. I'm not sure. I just outed myself now. I don't know what to
we
do.
need to put
Like,
that to music. My fingers only know how to do that.
yeah, that's the old school
Yeah.
one.
It's such a joy to speak with you. And I really want to thank you for inviting me. And again, I want to thank
It's an honor.
Planetary
It's an
Arts.
honor.
Thanks to Planetary Arts Movement and to World Academy of Art and Science, and to you.
Yes. And thank you, Alison, for doing what you do. So, for our listeners, you will find all the links below. And yeah, thank you, Alison, for
And
being my first guest.
oh, thank you to your listeners. Thank you to your listeners. I just send so much heart into the ether.